JaaackJack and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have sweet Zoe here and we are gonna go over how I properly express her bladder. And I'm warning you guys now, there will be pee and there will be poo in this video. You will see it. So that is your warning. So as you guys know, Zoe is paralyzed from the waist down, so she's incontinent, which means she can't go to the bathroom on her own. She has no control over that. So one of the biggest things that the doctors told me when I first brought Zoe home was that I need to really understand how to express the bladder. That's like the biggest thing that doctors are concerned about with down dogs like Zoe, is that you need to know how to properly express them, because otherwise they can get sick, get infections like UTIs and things like that, and that's just no bueno. So it's really important, if you do have a special needs dog that is incontinent, to master how to express their bladder. You don't necessarily need to make them go number 2, but if you just kind of think about it, visualize it for a second, how nasty it can be just like waiting for your dog, waiting for your dog to go number 2, and then it's just like all over the house. They're dragging themselves in it, like through it, like their tail gets in it. Like, it's just gross. So I just save myself the trouble, and when I express her, I also make her go number 2 as well. And I learned some tips and tricks from different therapists that we have seen over the years. So I'm gonna share those with you guys, and hopefully this helps you out. I know not all of my viewers here have special needs dogs, but I know that some of you out there do, and I hope that this video helps, because I know that whenever I run into any troubles with caring for Zoe, the first thing I do is I go on YouTube and type in whatever it is I'm looking for, and to see if I can find any videos relating to the care for a handicapped dog. And honestly, there's like none. There's like hardly any. And so I really hope that providing more helpful videos like this can be useful for other people. And also, I think the more access people have to tools and resources and videos like this, the less likely people are quick to just put their dog down if they have an injury like this. So hopefully this video can ultimately save dogs' lives. So I hope you guys are ready. Again, make sure you're not eating, because you will see all the stuff, all of the stuff. So I guess without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump on into the video. So for this, you are going to need a pee-pee pad, and we actually prefer to use human pee-pee pads. They can be a little more expensive than just regular dog pee-pee pads, but they work so much better. They absorb weight. I don't understand why they don't make dog pee-pee pads that absorb the same way. The worst thing about the regular dog pee-pee pads is, like, when you lay them down and then you put your dog on the side and make them go to the bathroom, it like creates this big puddle that just kind of leaks towards their body and like their butt. So basically they're getting wet from their pee on those specific pads. So that's why we like these ones that are super absorbent, and these are human pee-pee pads. You can get them anywhere that sells pads, tampons, that sort of thing. You'll find these as well. So we get these at Big Lots. This is the Prevail Total Care Under Pads. If I can find this exact brand, I'll leave it linked below. Maybe it's on Amazon or something. So I'll try and look for that. But this says the Protective Hygiene Authority, the #1 adult protective hygiene brand. You're also gonna wanna make sure you have short nails. I used to wear acrylics and like have the long fake nails, and I loved that, but once we rescued Zoe, I wasn't able to express her properly with my long nails, so now I keep my nails short. Also need your incontinent dog, obviously, and it's best to do this when you already know that they have a full bladder. And so this is the tricky thing. Like, it takes some time to figure out a schedule and to really kind of understand your dog's body. And so keeping track of like when they're eating and drinking is important, but also to space it out so you're giving them enough time to kind of build that bladder. Because if you're trying to squeeze it and it's like there's not a lot, it's going to be really hard for you to find, and it just makes things more difficult. So when Zoe has a full bladder, it's so easy to just easily feel where that is in her stomach and just squeeze it out like a water balloon. At first I was expressing Zoe like 8 times a day, which is totally not even necessary. But now I express her 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, mid-afternoon, and then right before bed. But the doctors, the best way that they tried to describe or explain this to me was that when you feel the stomach, like you use your hands, like make this like cup shape, and you use your hands and feel in their stomach, like just feel around in their stomach, and you're trying to search for something that feels like a water balloon, or like, you know, those toys that are like, I would play with this all the time when I was younger. I don't think it's like a thing now. It shows how old I am. But it's like this kind of like a rectangle water balloon, and like when you hold it, it like slides out of your hand. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You want to feel for something that feels similar to that, where like where you're touching it and it kind of slides a little bit. It's like jiggly. Because the thing is, you don't want to just squeeze their stomach, because that's like all their organs and everything in there. You want to find the actual bladder, and the bladder feels like a water balloon. And so if you're feeling in there and you don't feel it, their bladder might not be full enough. But if you go in when their bladder is full, you can feel, and you'll be like, oh, that's it. That's the water balloon that I'm looking for. And you're squeezing out that water balloon. That's the way that they explained it to me, and I think that's like the perfect explanation, because I don't really know how else to describe it. But I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in closer, and let's get into the dirty business now. So when the doctor was demonstrating this for me, she came from behind Zoe, so she was sitting on this side of Zoe, right? And for me, it's a lot easier coming from this side, coming from the front of Zoe. But when Johnny expresses her, he goes from the other end, and that's easier for him, like to be on that side of Zoe. So you're gonna have to play around and see what's more comfortable for you. I'm going to slide my hand under her hip and then just slide it in like that. So I like to squeeze with my dominant hand, and my other hand I'll rest on her hip. But you want to go in, again, cupping your hand like this. I wonder if I should turn her a little bit more this way. Sorry, baby. She's like, can you just express me already, woman? Like, why do we have to take this long? Okay. Oh, my poor baby, look at how skinny she is back here. It makes me so sad, but she's definitely lost a lot of muscle mass. She's been like this for 2 years now, so you know, not using the muscles here, it's really deteriorating back here, and it's so heartbreaking to see. But she's so bulky up here though, but then very, very skinny back here. But you can't be afraid of that, because that kind of just comes with having a paralyzed dog that's not utilizing these muscles. So this is like her belly, like this is her belly. What you want to do is go do the cup shape and go pretty far back. That's kind of in this area is where I find her bladder. So you want to go pretty far back and just use a little bit of pressure on your thumb to feel around. You can use your fingers on the bottom too, but just gently feel around, and you'll feel that little balloon. Her bladder is not super full right now, but I can still feel it. So it's like in this area. So then you want to stabilize yourself. I always go like on my knee, like I'm on this knee and this knee's up. Again, my dominant hand is going to be squeezing, and I'm going to rest the other hand on her hip. So using the thumb and just putting that pressure. And as I squeeze and apply that pressure, I kind of shake my hand back and forth on her stomach, because you can feel the balloon getting smaller. That little water balloon in there, you can feel it getting smaller. And once you can't feel it anymore, then that's when you know it's completely empty. But I actually do feel it still. So let's get the rest of that pee-pee. There we go. Just slide it away. And I'm just going to wipe her down, make sure she's clean there. And so there's the pee-pee part. So her bladder is completely empty now. I'm just going to cover that up, that's yucky. So because this pad is so big, it's very easy for me to like fold it over and then use another clean part to do the next step, which is number dos. So the first time, hold on, we're not done, baby. She's so confused why this is taking so long. So the first time the therapists were explaining how to assist in the number 2 area, like how to help her go poo, was to take a little Q-tip, is that the right word? Yeah, like a little Q-tip, and you just kind of push the bottom of her butthole. So say this is the butthole, you just take the Q-tip and kind of poke the bottom, and that helps to like kind of stimulate, and then she'll start pushing the poop out. And so that's an option. You can try that first and see if that works for you. But I went to another therapist, and they took a plastic bag and like covered their hand in a plastic bag, and then they started kind of massaging the butthole area. You know, this is gross, but you know, someone's gotta do it, right? And that's been the easiest way for me and Zoe. Like, that's the quickest and easiest way. So I'll take the clean end of the pad and go right onto her butthole. And if you just take it and push a little, just like put a little pressure against the butthole, sometimes you can actually feel like the poo, like right there. If you don't feel anything, just leave it alone. And this is what I'm saying. You're gonna have to get really familiar with your dog's body. But I can go like this very gently against her butthole, and I can actually feel that there is poop behind here. So this is like the poop, there's her butthole. So I'm just gently pressing, and I can feel that there's poop close to the surface. And so what I do, I focus on the bottom part of the butthole. This is the weirdest tutorial I've ever made. And I don't know how else to show this, but I kind of just do a U. So I take the pad and I go kind of like that, very gently. You don't have to push that hard, but I just go like that with the pad, and that's like stimulating the poop, and it's going to come out on its own. So you don't need to actually go in there and grab it or anything like that. What you're doing, you're just stimulating those muscles to get it going, to get it pushing. And so again, that's why it's important to just kind of gently feel first if you can actually feel that poop. And since we feel it, we're just going to massage until she starts actually pushing. Okay, there we go. And now she's going. And so you don't really need to help in this area. She's gonna do it all on her own. But sometimes I'll like try and catch it so it doesn't like touch her tail, you know? There we go. So we're gonna put that off to the side because that's gross. And I'm gonna take another corner. I'm just gonna press against her butthole, and I don't feel anything now. So that's how you know you got all the poop and you're good to go. So then I take this away and just wrap it up. And let me slide that out. Just wrap this up and then dispose of this. So this is what it looks like when like it's done, like there's no poo. But when she does have to poo, this area tends to look a little bit more pushed out, a little almost it's not swollen, but it almost looks a little swollen, and that's how you know there's poop right under the surface. So she is now good to go, aren't you? You good, huh? You good? And that's what her potty breaks look like 3 times a day. She's kind of gotten into this routine of it. One thing I did forget to mention, see how she's laying right now? Both of her arms are kind of like this on the ground. I can't, even though she's laying down, I can't properly feel where her bladder is when she's laying in this position. So that's why I always tell her to go on her elbow. Watch, elbow, come on, elbow. There you go. So when she lays like that on her elbow, that's when I can easily feel. So if you are doing this on your dog, have them lay on their side, on their elbow like this. So just one hand is on the ground and the other is kind of hovering like this. That's gonna be a lot easier for you to feel where the bladder is. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, this video is not for everyone, so sorry if you watched this and it was just too gross for you, but my ultimate goal is to help others with special needs pets. So if you do have a special needs pet and there's like an area that you're just really confused about or you need help, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and if I can help, I would love to make a video and help in that way. But yeah, I just think YouTube is lacking the resources for special needs pets. So I hope that this video helps somebody out there, and thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.